Hi, this is Nick DeSena. Behind me is Bracciano Lake. Now, I probably butchered that because I really don't speak Italian. But what's important to know about this lake is that we're outside Rome, Italy. And pretty much everyone watching this video will know that Rome is, well, an amazing, beautiful, historic city. Now, there are some truisms with Rome. One of those is that red sauce going on pasta is delightful. The Pope wears silly hats, and riding a Vespa in Italy is just what you need to do. It's one of those things that fulfills you in a very particular way. Now, we are riding the brand new 2023 Vespa GTS 300, which is the sole member of the GTS family that will be in the United States market. Now, that said, there are a ton of changes for this year. Not in terms of mechanical changes so much, not a new engine. It's actually, rehashing the previous generation power plant, but we're getting a lot of different visual updates that you can clearly see here, and a few other mechanical ones, including a brand new suspension action in the front, so a whole new single-sided fork, as well as some other updates that bring the GTS up to the next step, having tested its prior generation back in 19. That said, it is a Vespa. You kind of know what you're getting into, and riding this thing around in Rome is probably one of the coolest experiences you can have. That's a city that really speaks to the strengths of riding a scooter and doing the thing in Rome. The reality is that motorsports are kind of a religion here, and riding a Vespa in Rome is one of the many gospels. Okay, now let's get into the visual stuff. A lot of the visual updates really hone in on Vespa's sort of iconic look, and they haven't departed from that, but they have given it a much more, we'll say, modern design. It's more angular, sharper, a little bit more energetic in some ways. That said, the GTS 300 comes in 4 different variants. You have the GTS, the Super, the SuperSport, and the SuperTech. And between them, mechanically, they're pretty much all identical. What varies is the various liveries and color options and things like that. And there are some price differences that will flash up on the screen. And the only real difference between all these is with the SuperTech over yonder, and it gets a TFT display. But for my money, I think you really want to go with that classic analog and LCD dash. Kind of just fits the whole Vespa mood, I just prefer it. You may not. That said, the TFT does open the doors for a couple bits of technology, such as navigation, other things through the Mia app. In addition, the SuperTech boasts a carpeted underseat storage compartment with an LED light. Again, there are no mechanical differences between the various trim packages, save for the SuperTech's extra features. All of the 2023 Vespa GTSs include a new keyless ignition that also unlocks the various storage compartments and includes a handy bike finder function, which is nice in a scooter-packed city like Rome. And, that's all honky-dory. But getting into the engine feel and some of the other changes, really this single-cylinder power plant is just as we've always known. It's a spunky little thing, CVT transmission. There are no gears to be shifted. You just whack this throttle open and go splitting through traffic like a beast. That said, that's what I really appreciate. It's just fun, easy to use, and awesome around the city. As mentioned before, this is the same 278cc single-cylinder power plant with a few minor emissions tweaks to bring it up to stuff with Euro 5 standards. It pumps out roughly 24 horsepower, nearly 20 foot-pounds of torque, and if you do whack it open from a dead stop, you might feel a faint hint of CVT belt slippage. That said, there's plenty of pep on tap, and you can zip around the city, make quick work of any urban environment. But there's still more than enough gumption to live up to the grand touring aspect of its name, where it can cruise happily at speeds above 70 miles per hour. Now, moving on to the suspension side, this is a whole new front end. They've updated the damping, added some bracing to actually make it just feel a bit firmer and really improve its road holding abilities, which I think is nice. You also have new rims and whatnot. In the rear, the shocks are updated a hair, but we're still dealing with twin shocks with 4 ramp adjusters. So pretty basic stuff there, but really it's a Vespa. What else do you need? In terms of riding experience and comfort, the front end soaks up things much better. And the rear, yeah, you can feel a little bit through the seat, which is now reshaped and a bit more narrow to allow shorter-legged customers to get their boots on the deck. That said, it's a step-through vehicle. You can get your feet on the ground, no problem. They've also added ABS and TC. That's been kind of part of the package for a number of years now. TC can be a little aggressive, but again, you know, for riding in urban environments, which we're kind of outside of in the moment, when you hit those steel grates and things like that, yeah, you can feel it kick in, but I'm never going to turn it off. It's an urban vehicle, and yeah, that's what it's there to do. Now, in terms of the other things that I really like about the Vespa is just how incredibly accommodating it is. All you have to do is get on it, twist the gas, grab these brakes, and you feel it out within seconds. It's really that easy. That's not an exaggeration. That's just what a scooter does, and the Vespa happens to do it quite well. In terms of actually getting behind the bars of this, we do need to talk about one quick change. Vespa has changed the seating position a little bit. As I mentioned before, this seat is a bit more narrow. That's all honky-dory. The handlebars are a little bit wider. And the other thing that is really nice is they added new master cylinders up here and also shifted the positions for a little bit more ergonomic comfort. Vespas are truly inviting to ride, and with the ergonomic changes that we just mentioned, that trend only continues. What we do need to highlight is how nimble, quick-footed, and agile the GTS 300 is, and it highlights why Vespas, or scooters in general, are so popular in major European cities. Their low center of gravity allows it to change direction easy, and the wide steering sweep accommodates tight maneuvering, which is great for lane splitting. As agile as it is, it doesn't really feel nervous either when you start hitting those higher speeds. Now, braking feel as we know it, because of the weight bias, I would say you would benefit from using both brakes simultaneously. And I would appreciate just a little more feel in this front brake here, but overall, yeah, gets the job done, all gravy. That said, I had a blast riding this thing today. And you know, the reality is, when in Rome, ride a Vespa. So that's Nick with Ultimate Motorcycling, and we're gonna wrap it up here and get back on these things and head back into the city and, you know, have a bit more fun here. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them down below and we'll get you some answers. Now take care.